Hello, guys. The name of my show today is Why Are White People So Mad? And when I say white people, why are white people so mad? I'm talking about the Trump regime. After I show you a series of clips, you'll understand why they are so mad. Their regime is being exposed. There's an old saying, shit floats to the top. And that's exactly what is happening in Trump world. All their shit is floating to the top.
In response to Trump's July 2026 primetime address on election infrastructure, Democratic lawmakers immediately labeled his claims as easily disprovable lies.
If you want someone to believe a lie, all you have to do is tell it to them over and over.
Several major television networks opted not to carry the address live, the decision specifically due to Trump's history of false statements. The problem is that Trump lies so much that there is no such thing as truth. The political left continues to weaponize these inaccuracies, these statements, as evidence of Trump's unfitness for office.
Says this tonight is backed up by evidence. Why hasn't anyone been charged?
Well, he hasn't revealed it yet. He hasn't declassified the documents yet, and you will see what he says tonight, and then we'll move forward appropriately from there.
Tonight from the Justice Department?
I don't speak on behalf of the Justice Department, Caitlin, you know that. Rachel,
By evidence, will there be charges?
you'll have to ask the Justice Department. I don't charge people. I just speak on behalf of the president.
The ICE agents who killed the person in Maine yesterday were reportedly not using body-worn cameras, and that's despite DHS officials coming to Congress and repeatedly saying over the last few months that they want to expand body camera usage. Does there need to be accountability on DHS from Congress here?
I don't know anything about this event. Okay, I was a little busy yesterday, so I'm going to reserve judgment. I know that there was a tragic shooting, and I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know. And you guys can mock me for not knowing that.
I'm not going to mock you for it, Mike. I'm just going to call you a liar because that's what you are. You know exactly what happened yesterday. You know what happened in Minneapolis. You understand that un-American actions are continuing to accelerate across America while Susan Collins votes for $70 billion in ICE funding that has no reforms attached to it. You have Americans being gunned down in the streets of Minneapolis by masked men. That's un-American. You have fathers, husbands, grandfathers being gunned down in Houston, gunned down in the street for no reason in Biddleford, Maine, and the killers whisked away. No justice, no investigations, no real investigations allowed by local authorities who have seen their city streets being turned into killing zones. And you don't know about that, Mike? What do you know about? You know about, oh my God, you know about $350 billion that you say is needed to fight communism in America? Do you know how dangerous you sound, Mike?
Fought like they did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason.
Ordinary Americans getting ripped off, but maybe you care about rich people. You remember Bernie Madoff? No, you made it abundantly clear. You don't much care about ordinary Americans getting ripped off, but maybe you care about rich people. You remember Bernie Madoff? Okay, he scammed many very wealthy people, Republican donors that your boss cares about. Okay, and when we had hearing after hearing on how did that happen, it was because of underfunded regulators. No, you made it.
Are spending $50 million in lies to buy this election. All right, next one. Are we going to let 50 million in lies steal this election? Hell no. Are we going to let Trump donors, billionaires, and AIPAC lies steal this election? Come on, Michigan, let's do this. Trump
saw grew up poor, relatively broke. How the hell him and the Clinton Foundation is worth hundreds of millions of dollars beats me. Barack Obama was a community organizer who became the president of the United States, and last time I checked, that salary ain't over $450,000 if I remember correctly. I got to double check that. How the hell you depart from office, you worth over $200 million? Somehow, some way, they always depart exponentially richer than when they arrived.
Man, someone needs to tell this goofy-ass George Jefferson / Steve Urkel hybrid to shut the hell up. Stephen A. Smith, I know you're thinking about running for political office, and I have a little advice for you. Pick a lane, bitch. Pick a lane. Either pander to the idiots like you're doing now, or be an honest person. Don't try to play both sides of the fence. Pick a side. You said Obama was a community organizer before he became president, and when he left office, he's worth $200 million? How the hell is he worth $200 million? Do you know how to Google, bitch? Do you know how to Google? Obama's net worth is about $70 million. It's not $200 million, like you said, and he didn't acquire that wealth while he was in office, like you're suggesting. You do realize he didn't only make money with a presidential salary, right? You do get that. He has book deals. He has a Netflix deal. He gets paid for speaking engagements. He gets paid up to $400,000 to speak because he's the best at what he does. He doesn't go up there and say, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, or I lowered drug prices by 400, 500, 600%. And the Clinton Foundation is worth over $300 million, and they don't make a penny from it. The Clintons are worth about $120 million, and they also have accumulated that wealth after he left office. And why is this concept so foreign to you? You were a radio show host back in 2009. You were a radio show host, and now you're making $40 million a year? How is that? Hey, Steven, how are you making all this? You signed deals with ESPN, Sirius XM Radio, and other deals, just like they did. But your bootlicking sellout ass needs to bring down the two best presidents of our lifetimes. Do you have anything at all to say about, I don't know, him? Did Clinton or Obama get a $400 million plane from another country? Trump and his family are profiting every single day from his presidency. Right now as we speak. You ain't saying nothing about that, are you? Trump was selling pardons to criminals. If you give him $1 million, he'll let you out of prison. You want to talk about that, bitch? I hope your silly South Park looking ass does run for office, because I want you to see people on the left don't like you, and the people on the right definitely don't like you. You're not even that good at what you do, and you're making $40 million a year. But you need more. You want more power, huh? So you're willing to sell out your people and the American people so you can have a better lifestyle than you have with $40 million a year. You are a piece of trash, Steve.
Clinton.
Hey everybody. Yesterday, Donald Trump secretly granted a whole bunch more pardons. I'm hearing that there are 21 total pardons and commutations, but some of them still remain under wraps. Let me tell you about the ones we know about. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. So the first one's really nuts. Remember I told you about Adriana Camberos, a woman that Trump granted clemency to during his first presidency and now has ended up back in prison on her second federal fraud conviction? Well, Trump granted her clemency again, and her brother, who was her co-defendant, as well. Second, Trump has granted a full pardon to Wanda Vasquez Garced, the former governor of Puerto Rico, who Trump has referred to as a Trump-supporting governor, as well as her two co-defendants. Vasquez was prosecuted for taking bribes from a Venezuelan businessman named Julio Herrera Valentini. Herrera's daughter donated a total of $3.5 million to MAGA Inc., and then her father and his two co-defendants got a full pardon from Trump. Trump also pardoned a guy named Taryn Pizer. He was convicted of insider trading and sentenced to 42 months in prison. He was also ordered to pay back over $17 million. He was actually just sentenced in June of 2025, and prosecutors in Trump's own DOJ, including the U.S. attorney he appointed, Bill Assaly, lauded the sentence as a just result. But now, Donald Trump has wiped it out with a pardon. Trump also commuted the sentence of Jacob Deutsch, who was sentenced in 2024 to 5 years in prison for a very large mortgage fraud. This was actually Deutsch's second federal fraud conviction. The New York Times is reporting that several lawyers and lobbyists with close ties to Trump worked behind the scenes to get these clemencies granted. Because, of course, we all know that Donald Trump has established a pay-to-play justice system. I think you all know this, but as somebody who worked for several years trying to get clemencies for deserving people, this abuse of the clemency system is really quite upsetting. I'm sure more information will come to light over the next couple of days, and I will keep you posted.
Approve this message.
This committee, you should get the hell out of here. You don't understand the rules of the committee. You don't understand the Constitution.
Mr. Raskin.
You are full of it. You should get the hell out of here. That was Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin shredding New York Republican Mike Lawler. Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. On Capitol Hill, Mike Lawler has built up a reputation as one of the most obnoxious and arrogant members of Congress. And the Republican just made his case yet again by repeatedly breaking committee rules and exploding when he got called out. This happened in a House Judiciary Committee hearing on immigration.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for having me at this important hearing.
Under a special bipartisan agreement, Lawler was given the opportunity to introduce a witness from his own district, but Lawler turned it into a smear of Democrats who then raised a point of order.
Sanctuary policies
Mr. Chairman,
are the reason.
Point of order. This is a statement,
suspend.
not an introduction.
Lady's point is well taken. Gentleman, please confine his remarks to the introduction.
Thank you.
That's Republican Committee Chair Tom McClintock. Lawler ignored the committee chair.
Back in May of 2023, over 3 years ago, Sheridan's murderer illegally entered the United States. Border Patrol caught him. They apprehended him. But then, because of the Biden administration's ludicrous open border policies, he was released into our country. A month later, he was arrested for shoplifting in Chicago. Under existing law and the law at the time, he should have been deported right then and there.
Point of order, this is not an introduction.
By our federal laws.
Point of order, this is not an introduction, it's a speech.
You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Mr. Chairman,
disgraceful.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, for ruling on the point of order.
Mr. Chairman.
Precisely because you have failed to do your job.
Yes,
Mr.
You wonder
Chairman.
why we had 4 hearings? It's because you don't understand the consequence of saying.
Gentlemen will suspend. Again, that was the Republican Committee Chair McClintock telling Lawler to be quiet. At this point, Democrat Pramila Jayapal of Washington State warned that Democrats would revoke their agreement, allowing committee lawmakers to deliver witness introductions.
And unfortunately, we won't give our approval for people to introduce their constituents if people don't stick to the rules. So I appreciate the chairman's insistence that we stick to the rules and that you have the opportunity to introduce your constituent, which I think you have done.
My constituent
so thank you very much, Mr. Lawler and Mr. Chairman.
Sharing the
please have
details
committee
of her death.
You
may not want to hear the details. It may be an inconvenience to you, but these details matter.
The gentleman will suspend. We have an agreement with the minority that the introductions will be introductory only. So if I could just ask for the gentleman to make that introduction and conclude. Just ask for the gentleman to make that introduction and conclude.
Sure. When you send your kid to college, you should be worried about making sure they go to class, or hopefully that they have a nice roommate, or how to help them get a summer internship. Not worried that illegal immigrants are shooting them while they're out with their friends looking at the Northern Lights. It is shameful that we are here.